we're done. Okay. Now I think we've got this. Okay. We apologize. There's nobody here. We just started a new live. There's one person here. We just, oh boy.
Hi.
Let me tell these people.
Hi, Jesus. And Frank.
I wish I knew how to tell everybody what's going on.
Somehow we got. Oh, yeah. Tell us what you need to tell us, Exoman.
Okay, we'll get to that. All right. No, not a webcam. Okay. Is it time? It's about the time we initially scheduled this,
Yeah.
which was.
So we were just kidding about the
4:30.
4:15 thing.
Yeah, that's why we were trying to do it early, because we wanted to be.
We wanted to make sure we could do it right.
Yeah. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh well.
Oh well. Okay. Let me try one more time to bring this up. We have a story we want to tell you all, and it's going to go way back, and it's going to be in the immediate, in the present.
You got in trouble.
We don't know that yet. Wait for the story. Okay.
Or maybe it was me.
All right. I wish that I could.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I should be able to click on live streaming and see what we're doing. It's not. It just doesn't want to show us what's going on.
All right. Well, it's on up here there.
Let me see. Events. Live now. Here we go.
Thank you, Newso.
I got it. I found it.
Yay!
Okay. We're with you guys, and we can read your comments here where it's much easier.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Way easier.
Okay. Can you see that, dear? Hi, Tim Stern.
See.
Hi, Dean Dewis. How warm is it there? It's not very warm. We've been out at the beach with bikinis recently. Well, not me. This one has.
The lighting looks so weird.
It's not in focus.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can touch this, and that will help. Why are we having such problems?
It kind of helped.
Maybe. Hey, look, they're going to start cheering because I got off the...
No.
We're still having technical problems. I apologize. Did that help?
I don't know. Oh well.
Something is wrong. Can you guys see us all right? We can't see ourselves at all on here.
Well, we can see, but it's just
Much better.
not
says.
clear. It's like there's not enough lighting or something.
What's up, guys? Something going on with our visual. No, it's not the light. It's
Are
not
you
the
sure?
light, Jen. I'm positive it's the focus. Here, look. I don't know. It's locked on something. It's never done this before. So, anyway. Hi, Josh. Hi, Rob. Wow, there's a lot of people. Hi, Jim Key.
Hey, Jim.
Hi, Jason Blair, Ben Johnson.
Igor.
Hey,
Tybex. Dr. Sausage.
I'll ask again. Can you guys see us clearly?
Yeah, they said that they can.
They can?
Yeah.
Huh.
Right this end.
Oh, that's weird. On this end, it's very delayed and fuzz. We can't really see. So, okay.
Yeah, so it's probably,
All
maybe
right.
it's just going to end up okay.
Hi, Jeff Hood. Hi,
It'll be
Mike
all right.
Allen. Oh, good. There's a lot of people here.
Everything's always all right, right? If you just relax, breathe deep, Zen. It's perfect.
So, what precipitated this salacious title headline?
Yeah, what started us thinking about that?
If everyone's here, I will begin the story.
Begin the story.
Okay. So, I recently got news from a friend that was kind of shocking, and it brought back a lot of memories. You know, you feel for people. You
Oh, yeah.
empathize, and then you remember your own experiences.
Yeah.
A friend of mine was struck. He was hit by another car in his car, and his car was totaled.
Yeah.
And it was very shocking.
Really totaled.
Really totaled. And so I'm looking at this picture of my friend on the ground in agony. You can see him. I don't know if I can show you this picture. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see that? Can you guys see that? That's my friend lying beneath those EMTs and firemen. He's curled up in pain. His car was totaled. He was a kid ran a stop sign or a stoplight.
And that's a stoplight.
Yeah,
Right there.
and
Pole.
his car was hit, and then he careened around into that light pole, knocked the pole over. A lot of force.
Yeah, the car was messed up.
Fortunately, he's survived this accident without terrible injuries, and it reminded me
Very traumatizing.
of, first and foremost, of how precious and finite life is, and how each moment is precious, and
Yeah.
how it's good. Now, we're no different than anybody else, but it's just a reminder that we all need. It's
Yeah.
kind of a wake-up call when stuff like this happens.
Put your priorities
In perspective.
In perspective.
Yeah. What are your priorities? What are you doing with your life? How are you treating people? If this all ended this evening, how would the loose ends look, right? Of
I
your
guess,
life.
yeah.
What would you leave behind? What would be your legacy? Okay, so I'm so glad that my friend is okay. It's a pretty emotional thing when someone you care about is involved in something pretty horrific. So I was reminded of an incident that happened 34 years ago.
No, 20, maybe 30.
No, this was
30 years
before
ago.
we were married.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
This was 1986.
Or
85,
87. It was probably 87.
87.
Yeah, 87.
Okay, so
So,
many
31 years
years ago, I was maybe a scoundrel.
You?
I did something very, very foolish. I don't want to say macho stupid things and write it off as being a red-blooded American, whatever. I was kind of an idiot.
But we weren't completely, totally committed to each other.
We were
Yeah.
boyfriend
we
and
were.
girlfriend. She was
Yeah.
19 or 20. Were you 20 by then?
I was 20.
And I was working as a young model and an actor in New Orleans, and I met this cheerleader.
Hoe bag.
Farm girl. She was a
hope she's
cheerleader
watching.
for the New Orleans Saints, and I was just a hungry lad, and I couldn't resist the temptation. So I went out with
I
this
was
girl.
pissed.
Well, I think you were out of town.
No, I was there, but you were supposed to be with your friend Sal, and
God forgive me. Anyway, so
I
I
had
did
to like
this.
find him.
I committed this adulterous act, but again, we weren't married. We were
Yeah, and I didn't really know
Kind
it was
of
quite adulterous.
we were lovers. We were young lovers, and
Didn't know it
I
was
was
that
foolish
far.
and had this thing with this girl, and it bit me instantly. Okay, so we had our little tryst, and then we were in her car. We were across the river in Chalmette, across the river from New Orleans, at this cheerleader's apartment, and we left in the evening. We were going to go out, and we got in her car, and we were going through this this neighborhood, and it was evening, and I saw a flash of light, and I looked out of the window of the car. I'm sitting in the passenger seat, and as I swung my head, the lights were right there, and it was a truck, and it was in my face. It was a big truck, and we were in a little car. So as I turned my head, it must have been in the winter, because the windows were closed.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I guess it was. And as soon as I saw those lights, it was there, and my face went through that window, and my head was back, and I smashed my chin, I think, into the truck,
The bumper.
the bumper of the truck,
Yeah.
because it just hit that window, collapsed my lungs. It was blood was gushing everywhere. It was pretty horrific.
Ugh.
So
Instant karma.
instant karma. So that's the story. She wasn't.
And then you were like, oh my God, I'm going to be so busted, right?
I was.
But still,
I was so
his
ashamed.
friend was saying, oh yeah, we just went out to some clubs, and this was the next morning when
So
I
I
couldn't
was-
find him.
So there I was. Imagine this. I'm laying there in pain. I'm thinking I thought I was dying, and I thought, and it was all too much, man. I was laying there thinking, what a horrible person. What have I done? I've done this terrible thing, and I'm paying for it right now. And I don't know.
No, you still had to pay for it.
I still had to pay for it. It was, yeah. So it's hard. Kelly Diggs. Hi. Instant karma. That's right, Kelly. Lucky bastard bent over and truck passed.
You're right, George.
What?
Real love always returns.
So, yeah. So imagine if I had died
Oh, geez.
and you had to mourn a schmuck, because you would have known. I was taken to the hospital with this cheerleader. We were both in the hospital, and her family showed up, and I was like, hey. And I think she was dating like the quarterback or something. And yes, so we were both embarrassed.
Scoundrels.
So there you go, instant karma. My friend, on the other hand, was being a good guy. He was going to a tennis match. He was on his way to play tennis. And he just this beautiful car that he just bought recently.
Oh, you're talking about Jim. I thought
Yeah,
you were
no,
talking about.
I'm sorry. I flash forward to the present and my friend Jim.
Yeah.
And
that's
so when he's
awful.
telling me about this, and I'm thinking about that, and I mean thinking about him, and then I didn't even tell him for a few days because that was quite an impact, and I didn't want to start swapping war stories or anything.
Yeah.
But I just told him about that, and I thought we both were thinking about there's so much to be learned from this,
Yeah.
and how life comes at you fast, and it can
Really fast.
it can be very dramatic.
Yeah.
And we all think that everything is infinite. And we're programmed, I think we're hardwired to think this will go on forever. Everything's okay.
Well, I think we do go on forever, but this is just a little
But this
blip
experience,
in our
this
experience.
identity, this persona that we have taken in this moment, it has a beginning and has an end. It is very finite. So we're on this ride,
No.
and we have to make the best of it. So we have to let an event like this remind us and see what we can learn from it. And I think it's just interesting to talk about. And another thing that strikes me about this is that you, in the end, were a saint.
I was.
Yes.
Not at first.
Yeah. And that's what I said in the end. David Winstead. Hello from Nevada. Hello, David. So,
Yeah, I was not happy, but I was glad that you were alive, of course.
thanks for sharing the story. Great video.
But we were kind of
Thank
new
you.
to each
Thank
other, and
So, yeah.
I was thinking that that's not the kind of person you are, because I felt like I knew you, or I, of course, was getting to know him.
I just felt like I got such a reprieve, and I really did take from that lesson.
And you were really, really sorry.
I was really.
He was
sorry.
really, really sorry.
And I had grown up, and I had my estranged father was back somewhat in the peripheral in my life. And when I was a boy, when I was around him, he was telling me, basically, go out and screw women. That's what
Yeah.
that's what cool guys do. As many as you can. He told me graphic
But you were
details.
trying to be the opposite of what he was.
He told me
and what he
graphic
wanted.
details about how he experienced women and how he did and he was a intelligent, good-looking stuntman. He was a stuntman, kind of a jackass. And I didn't need that influence, but that's what I got. I'm not making excuses for that behavior, but I'm so glad that I got through it, and that pushed me through it.
Yeah,
Don't you think?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And you taught me
You
about
definitely wanted to be a better man then.
and you taught me about being forgiving.
Yeah.
All right, let me look at some of these comments.
I try.
So what has
Forgiveness
happened?
is key.
What has happened in your life that reminds you of how of how precious each moment is, and how we got to focus on being good people and not stepping on other people to get ahead, or
Yeah.
being rude or being hostile or being angry all the time, but just breathe it in and enjoy the ride,
Yep.
because it's short and it's precious. I know this is redundant,
No, it's
but I'm just so happy that my
That's
friend
the
is
point.
okay. My friend is okay,
yeah.
and that,
We're glad Exoman's alive.
and if you hadn't forgiven me, we wouldn't be here right now. You wouldn't.
True.
We wouldn't be experiencing you all and having this moment. We wouldn't have the beautiful kids we have
Right.
together. By the way, our son just turned 25.
25.
So, and our older daughter, they're both over a quarter of a century now.
Yep.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy stuff.
And so,
Life
that-
comes at you fast.
yeah, so we didn't have them till 5 years after all that. We didn't
Yeah.
get married for 4 or 5 years.
Right.
So anyway, what experiences have molded you all and remind you of how precious everything is?
Yeah.
Remind people not to text when driving.
Oh, that was one of our
That's-
points
that is-
that we were going to make.
That is a
Yep.
big deal. That is the biggest part of
Because-
this is pay attention and
Yeah.
don't be distracted.
That was a factor, we think, in that accident
It most-
with his friend.
Almost
So-
definitely. What happened was when my friend was going through a green light, a very green light, as we explained it,
Yeah, like it didn't- it's not
okay, it's
about
going
to
to turn
be
green. I
yellow.
hope it turns green. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
it barely, he said it was a very green light.
Yeah.
It had been green and he was going through it, and the kid just plowed him.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
let us not be distracted. It is not
It only
worth
takes
it.
a second to look away.
It is not worth it.
I see people all the time just swerving
Yes, and I've got to learn
like,
from this.
what is
I've got to
going
learn.
on?
I've got to admit that I have a lot to learn. And
Well, at least you use Siri.
Yeah.
Like I try and
That's-
use Siri, but then I end up throwing it
yeah,
across.
I mean, and if you
the
can't, if you
car, I
have, but
can't
if you
do
have
it.
to correct what Siri
No,
says,
I don't.
it's just do it over again or don't do it.
Yep.
Jim Key, only one vice, age has cured me of. What did he say? Why is this computer not working?
Oh, James Scott said he and his wife have been married 28 years, in no part because of you. Because your wife forgave you.
Okay.
Yeah, most people think it won't happen to them, but I don't know. I used to know a police officer that would drive us around when we were going to CrossFit games and stuff, and she used to text while driving, and I was like, "You can't do that." And she said, "Oh, I
Yeah.
know how to do this. I'm an expert."
So,
And
and the guy that
scary.
hit him was a young guy in a sports car, and not that that has anything to do with it, but share the stories with your friends and family, particularly the younger crowd who are glued to their phones.
yep,
That it just happens all the time.
yeah,
We don't hear enough about it. That's why I kind of wanted to bring these stories forward just as a reminder.
it's probably happening more than even drunk driving now. I would think, you
Yeah.
know, because people are just Ubering when they know they're going to be drinking, but texting is right there always. So
Mhm.
it's just something that we need to turn off. And I have a little thing that pops up when he texts me when I'm driving, or when anybody texts me, and it says, "I'm driving right now. I'll get back to you when I reach my destination," or whatever it says. But that's smart.
You do have that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yep.
Texting
Why is
bad,
it not-
Mike Gore
might not be on
said.
now.
You are, how do you say that? Taponin, he said, life is wonderful. Truly it is. I let my car do the driving while I text. Huh? I think back to the harm I've done. I don't know what you mean, Jim.
Aw, nice.
My
I
touch
see some
screen is not
stories.
working anymore. Did you notice that? What? We're trying to catch up with some
Oh,
of
there it
these.
is. Right? Oh, no. I don't know.
Everything that can go wrong is going wrong here. My computer's not working. So,
Hello, Newman.
hi, Mike Gore. I look both ways regardless. That is so smart. Yes, Mike Gore just brought up a good point. When you come into a stoplight
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
green, I was telling my friend that I have this kind of peripheral. You might call me a distracted driver, but please don't. Let's don't go into detail about that. But I have this field, and I sort of see
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
I don't do the tunnel vision thing, which you say is dangerous because I'm a very distracted driver, but it's because I'm taking so much in.
He's a looky-loo.
But I slam my brakes on a lot of times because people are pulling out in front of me. So anyway, look both ways. If you come into a green light, just give a little peripheral glance. Why not? Why not?
No, Eugenia.
It's hard to read these really
I don't want to get in trouble.
long texts. She saw something and you did.
Yeah, where is
didn't
our
see
tech
in
supporter?
yourself.
Destin.
And now
It's
look
Destin.
where y'all are. That's so right, Michael. Thank you.
Yeah.
Usually, I had commitment issues when we were dating. I was engaged to be married, and then I called it off, and then I just didn't think it was perfect.
Yeah.
And then another relationship, and then I met you, and it seemed perfect, but I didn't know if I believed that it could be.
Because you thought that the other one seemed perfect
Yeah.
for a while.
So that was kind
So
of just a weird issue that I needed to work out, and I realized, wait a minute, I have to make this what I want it to be,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, again,
Yep.
you gave me the reprieve, and
Oh, and the stopping and looking both ways. Our son got really lucky when he first started driving. He was with Exoman and came up to the end of our road
he got a freebie. He pulled
He
out.
left
We live off of a highway.
real quick,
This is
right,
where,
and then left, and then just went. Yep, and it's a very fast highway.
and he
It was
pulled
55
out.
then.
He
Now it's
pulled out in
45.
front of a car that could have easily been going 65, 70 miles an hour.
Yeah.
He pulled out, and the car came, and he had to make the decision whether to go into the oncoming lane or off the highway. I can't remember which
I
side.
think you said he went off.
Off the shoulder.
The shoulder,
I think
yeah.
he just shot off the shoulder, and
Scary.
it pins and needles, adrenaline rush, and he was emotional. I was scared, and I said, my son, you just got a freebie. Please
Yeah.
let that serve to remind you for the rest of your life. Let me tell you another story. When I was a boy,
Keep going.
oh, I need you here.
I'm gonna be right back.
That water's delicious. When I was a boy in 1971, we were on the Pontchartrain Causeway northbound going from New Orleans to the North Shore
No, Bear. No.
in a 1971 Camaro. My mother, who didn't have much income, I don't know how she pulled it off, but she convinced somebody to sell her a brand new Camaro. It was a lime green Camaro, and it was Easter Sunday night. We were coming back from my grandmother Gertrude's in the French Quarter.
With a belly full of crawfish.
Belly full of crawfish. That's right. We stopped on the lakefront in New Orleans and ate crawfish. We got on the causeway. We got to the 7 Mile point, and we saw flames. It was nighttime, and we saw flames on the other span, or twin span bridge. It was at the time the longest bridge in the world. And then my mother stopped because the cars in front of her were stopped, and everybody was looking. They were slowed down to a crawl or a stop. People behind us,
Didn't
the
get the
speed
memo.
limit was 70 miles an hour. Right, they didn't get the memo, and we all woke up. My brother woke up 3 weeks later. My mother's pelvis was shattered. Her face was peeled off.
Yeah.
It was horrific.
Crazy.
My inner ear was damaged, and I
He's
had
had
brain
some rough
fluid leaking out of
patches.
my ear. Lost a lot of hearing. What? and it was bad. It was, the door buckled, and my brother's spleen was ruptured from the door
God.
smashing into his side. So, and I remember waking up and throwing up, and it just,
Waking up and throwing up.
no, we shouldn't have lived through it. They didn't even have, the jaws of life weren't to come for decades.
Wow.
A couple of decades.
Well, I'm
a
glad you
decade
just
after that.
didn't get shot off the bridge. That
We
would
went
have
up
been.
on the guardrail. We slid along the bridge with wheels off the ground. They speculated and came back down rather than going over and
Wow.
being drowning.
So
Because we
lucky.
were all unconscious. My brother's
Yeah.
arm was behind his back. They were like, how'd you live through that?
Yeah.
We just got lucky.
Comas
We didn't
for a
see it.
while.
We didn't see it coming,
Yeah.
but it could have been all over right then. So I don't know why. I need these reminders.
Yeah.
Don't you? From
No,
time to
I don't want any reminders.
It's morbid, but it is a reminder.
I'll just remember because of your stories.
Yeah. So what are we doing with our lives? You might notice that we try to just live our lives and not give a shit about what people think. We try to be
A rat's
happy
ass.
and we try to not harm others. Do no harm. Do no harm. Don't be rude to other people. You'll find that
Spread the love.
we never go on YouTube looking for somebody to criticize. We've never done it once. We don't do it. It's just not. It's not in our.
We don't even criticize the people that criticize us.
We try not to. Every now and then.
I don't.
I'll indulge someone. But there's just no point in.
We send them love.
Because it is precious. So, don't text and drive. Don't be distracted. Let's slow down. And this farm girl
Breathe deep.
teaches me learn to breathe. My daughter teaches me yoga,
Yep.
prana, whatever, all that stuff. Do it.
It's all important. Take time for yourself.
Relax and
Take
it
time to be
easy.
grateful.
Thank you all so much for joining us. I hope you heard
Yeah.
the story, got any message that was there. We didn't really plan this out,
No.
other than
We
to
could have
say,
stretched it out and like made it seem like it was me and I could have told a good story.
suspense. That's
Yeah.
good water.
Yeah.
Lime water.
It's lime bubbly water with no
I was gonna have a
sodium,
beer with
no
you guys,
calories, no sugar,
but after crazy.
no GMOs, organic. It's good stuff.
Uh,
I don't know if you can see that.
wait, we're not advertising. No, stop
Just
that.
in case they want to go get some.
Stop that. We're not advertised. This is not a sponsored discussion. Come on. All right. If I don't pay attention to you, oops.
Get in trouble. Bob's doing great. He did have a little patch where he lost his fur, but we think that's because he was out fighting again. So back to his old tricks. He's having fun. He's a pirate.
There's really a difference in taste between non-GMO beer and regular beer. True, John Thomas. Thanks for being here. Hi, Jim Dean.
What was a Bull Durham reference? Did you make?
I
a
don't
Bull
think we
Durham
made a
reference?
Bull Durham reference. No, we didn't.
Well, we may have by accident.
Hi, Jim Dean. No, thank you, Tim.
Why isn't
All
it going?
I don't know. Is it not going?
Wait, where was that? Oh, right here.
Oh, that's terrible. Why would you say that? Zephyr
It's a
Hills,
girl.
Florida. Oh, it's a girl?
Yeah. Wait, back that up.
Who was that nice lady? They wanted to do something for me.
You funny.
I can't find her now.
Jamie Davis.
Jamie is probably a guy.
No.
What does
I know how you feel, Jamie. People say that to me all the time.
What does BJ stand for anyway? No, I'm just kidding. Okay. you
yeah,
two-
we need to
Thank
visit
you,
Mexico
Larry
again.
Taylor. That's very kind of you. So we're just drink alcohol-free beer. That's a good point if you're going, especially if you're driving. Because that's what all this was about. If you just joined us, I was telling the story of a friend of mine who was recently struck by another driver who ran a red light. He was smashed into a light pole. Pole got knocked down. My friend is laid out. He's been in pretty morbid pain for days. That's not
I'm not
fun.
laughing at that. Jim, I am not laughing at that. So,
Oh, okay.
okay.
So the lesson is life comes at you fast, and it doesn't last forever.
Yes,
Are you
this is the
smelling-
oiled hat. Somebody asked if it was your oiled
It's,
hat.
it's disconcerting when you come close and sniff my hat. All right, so thank you all for joining us. Too fast. What's too fast, Klein? Good evening, you two. Thanks, Larry. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
And we're going to be out of here now. What happened? Jimmy Daniels asked what
I
happened.
hope everybody's having a Sunday fun day.
All right. And again, the message was, please pay attention when you're driving. Please remind your kids to pay attention when they're driving. My friend just got hit by a car in his car. His car is totaled. He's in a lot of pain. He fortunately didn't lose his life, wasn't paralyzed, but a lot of people, that is the story. That is the end result. So we need all just
Be aware.
Take it as a lesson and be aware.
Yep.
Okay.
Be here now.
Live every day as if it's your last. That's right, Dan Jensen.
Yep.
Thank you. Kitty Cat's doing fine. Bob's now got one eye and he's doing fine. Love you too. Yep. Thank you, Randy Shepard. And losing my wife. Oh, Mark Hendricks lost his wife 13 years ago.
And daughter.
And daughter in a car accident. Oh, how that must have changed you, Mark. I'm so sorry. Words cannot express. Thank
Now
you for sharing.
Weepy.
You guys should do more live videos. I don't know, this one didn't go so well, but
Yeah.
hopefully we've gotten a point across. Thanks for joining us, Mark Hendricks. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
And life is hard and then you die. Well, that's one way you could look at it, but it's kind of a negative take on it.
Hopefully there's a lot of fun in between.
Life is beautiful. Life is
Yeah.
beautiful and precious. It's what you make of it. It can be hard. I've had times in my life
you've
that
had
were
rough times.
that were very hard. But
I've had rough times.
there are people who my stories pale in comparison to as to how difficult their lives were. But it's all in what we make of it. And every day is a new start.
Yep. Every
And
5 minutes.
and
Every minute is a new start.
every morning when you wake up, you should wake up before you wake up. If your mind clicks on, start thinking, this is going to be the beginning of the rest of my life, and I'm going to be a better person starting today. And I'm not just saying this; I mean it. And work towards being a better person. Spread. My friend used to say, "Scatter smiles."
Oh yeah.
You know, spread love.
I like that.
It's hard for me sometimes because I developed a thick skin and a macho exterior, but I've had to break that down, and I've learned over the years to be loving and less combative, and
Yes, you have.
it serves you well.
He's changed a lot.
It serves you well
Yeah.
if you will break that down. But a lot of us were taught wrong. I was taught so wrong. I was taught so many things right by my mother, so many things wrong by my father.
To be macho and rough.
But he was a damaged, very
Yeah.
damaged person. He was a very, very abused young man. And,
Yeah.
but you learn things wrong and then you reprogram yourself. You have the right, you have the ability to rebuild your psyche, your consciousness, and your conscience. Do the right thing. I
thanks,
see
Steve.
people all the time that say ugly things on here, and I think, wow, you were just taught wrong.
Yeah.
Why would you go out and
Or
just say
they're just
something ugly? to
Having a
somebody?
bad day, or they just need.
You are
don't know.
you're looking at a human right here. This human that I learned from. What is that? Sean Sanford. Thank you for the $10, my
Oh
friend.
yeah,
Wow.
thank you, Sean.
Wow, that is really,
Sweet.
really, really nice of you. This guy just gave us $10.
Super chatted us.
Super chatted us. Yeah, but I was just saying, I learned so much from this woman here, and when I met you, I was still in that. I was fighting a lot.
Yeah.
I was getting in fights on this. I would if I was confronted in any way, I would just let's go.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that guy. That's the wrong guy to be. I learned to be that guy from other people. And I taught myself over the years, and I learned from watching people like you that just walk away from confrontation. I've never seen you, in the 34 years that I've known you, speak harsh words to people.
Ah, you're. So
I never have. And so that's
I
what
don't
it's
like
all
to.
about. Every day I wake up, I want to be more like you.
Because I don't want people to talk harshly to me.
Mm-hmm.
So
So yours is,
I like do unto others.
yeah.
I totally,
Yeah.
and I try and put myself into people's shoes.
So,
and
what did you say to me? You
know
said to
what
me
they're
today, these are things that we're learning. We're not trying to.
oh, we teach best what we most need to
Well,
learn.
yeah, we're not your teachers. We're just sharing
Yeah.
with you. We don't
Yep.
profess to be at all knowledgeable. We just have experience like all of you have. And
Yeah.
we teach best.
We learn from you a lot
We
too.
teach
so
best
we
what
appreciate you.
what we need to learn.
Yeah.
And that's it. That was all we wanted to share. Again, to encapsulate it, my friend they call it an accident, but it's not really an accident when it could have been prevented. It was a stupid mistake that caused a wreck.
But it's not really an on purpose.
It wasn't on purpose, but an accident is when I said to my friend, when a meteor falls from the sky in front of your car and you hit it, that's unavoidable. That's an accident. Or a car wreck is when you go like this and run into a wall because you're not paying attention. That's a wreck, right?
I guess.
You don't care about that. What do you call that? It's linguistics. What do you call that in linguistics? It's
Oh, not non sequitur? No.
no. What do you call it? Semantics.
Oh, yeah.
It's semantics, my friends. Okay, so pay attention. Please tell your teen children to pay
Yes.
attention. And if they're in driving school, go with them also as parents and help them
Yeah,
in
we need
quiet
to
places.
reinforce all that.
Reinforce
for
their
sure.
driving education.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
Yeah, it's really important. Life is hard, and then why
No,
is it
it's
still
not
on that?
going.
Oh.
It's been,
Okay,
oh,
Motorcycle accident. Hi, Klein
Ooh.
Phelps. I've had 3 or 4 of them, and I've stopped driving motorcycles forever.
Yep.
Because I can't control other people.
yeah.
And they've pulled
It's
out in
just-
front of me, and I've visited.
I have to
too
pick
many-
him up every time he crashes.
Too many bumpers. Yeah.
Or gets crashed into.
It was because I used a motorcycle incessantly all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I was
In
out a lot,
LA.
and I didn't have a car. I just
Yeah.
used a motorcycle. And
Yeah.
New Orleans was
Oh,
the
New
worst.
Orleans was
New
the
Orleans
worst.
is where all the people
Yeah.
who just would pull in front
Yeah.
of me. Yeah. We teach best what we most need to learn. That's right.
right.
He's reiterating that. I
Yep.
hope your friend gets better. I do too. I hope my friend is feeling better.
And you know who
He's
always-
been waking up in a lot of pain every day.
Brandon of the Positive Head podcast, he always says that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
That's
you
an
really like
awesome
that guy.
podcast. Yeah.
So
If
on
you
your
want
phone,
like a positive, uplifting thing that you can do every day, you can listen to the Positive Head. It's so
on
good.
your telephone, you can on your cell phone, you can just look the sky up. Look
Oh
up.
yeah, just go to any podcast. Like you can go to iTunes or I can't even think of the other ones. Anyway, there's just like a little podcast thing on your phone, and you can look it up. It's the Positive Head podcast,
Somebody
and I
said
love it. It's
Body-
so uplifting.
somebody just said body painting.
Oh yes, we like to do that. We were actually talking about that earlier.
We can't do that much though. We have to be very careful. That stuff is all Patreon stuff.
Yeah,
We only do that on Patreon.
yeah.
And it's not bad, it's just something that YouTube doesn't like.
It's creative. We love it.
We're doing great, Casildo Carrasco.
Maybe.
Casildo.
I've driven a Harley before, haven't
I'm
I?
Casildo Carrasco.
Have I driven? Did
Nice
you
to
ever
meet
have a
you.
Harley that I drove?
You drove
A Virago
my Virago.
and a Suzuki.
Wow, you drove all my motorcycles?
Well, I drove those two.
Wow. Brave.
Yeah. Not very far, and I dumped it one time. I dumped one of them. Remember?
Yeah.
You had to come running in and pick it up.
It was
That
probably
was heavy.
it was probably the Suzuki, the beater.
I think it was a Suzuki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jen loves body painting. Yeah, she likes that.
Yeah.
Had to get rid of my motorcycle because of stupid drivers. It's a smart
That's
thing to do. You can't control other people,
Yep.
and it's not if, it's when. Unfortunately, for a lot of us. On
I had to
motorcycles.
beg him to get rid of his, and finally, after the last accident in LA, it
I was
like,
not a
Okay, I
stupid
am.
driver. I
No,
was
no.
a defensive driver, but
Yeah.
I had a drunk guy. I was driving down Magazine Street in New Orleans. It was one of the worst that I had, and he was coming towards me, and then he just went. He,
Oh, yeah.
he just decided instantly, oh God, I got to go in that parking lot right there. And he got up, and then I'm on his hood. My ankle feels like it's shattered. I couldn't walk for a long time. And he gets out of the car and he says, hit me, man, punch me, man.
Don't hit me.
No,
Don't hit me,
No,
don't
he
hit me.
begged me to hit him.
Oh, I thought he was saying
He
don't hit
wanted
me.
me to hit. He didn't have any insurance or anything. My bike was totaled, and he wanted me to hit
Or
him.
he just wanted to have his instant
He
karma.
wanted to be the victim.
Yeah.
He wanted to reverse roles
Yeah.
with me. It was a very strange, and
That's
I was
really weird.
livid and in massive amount of pain.
Oh, thank you, Kim. Hey,
How
Ian.
old are you? I'm 56.
I'm 52.
She's 52.
I'm going to be 53 in the summer. Hi,
Kim.
Ralph. Hey.
Kim in Sweden. Kim Nielsen.
Yeah. Thank you,
Hi,
Kim.
Kim. Thanks for joining us. We're done here. We just told a story, and we're gonna
Andy
we've
G,
got to end
you're
this
funny.
because I've been prattling on too long.
We used to grow vegetables when we were at the farm. Maybe we'll grow some more this year, probably. We love growing tomatoes.
I will go to your Patreon now. That's very nice. Those are
Aw,
nice people on
sweet.
here.
Thank you.
Who was that?
We were doing some shooting for Patreon earlier today. We have fun doing
I've-
that. We can be more creative doing that. It's just because, yeah,
I have to see who that was. Boy, these messages come and go fast.
you know.
You remember that commercial, Life Comes at You Fast? The person is pushing a little boy in a swing, and he turns away, and he looks back, and it's a 20-year-old heavy,
yeah.
chubby kid comes back and hits him. Like, that's such a great commercial. That's life.
Yep.
That's life. You can't wait.
That's
Life is what
we're
happens to you.
dedicating this live to that.
Yes. What did John Lennon say? Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. Probably somebody said it before him, but
Something like that.
nice to say that he said it, I
Yeah.
guess.
Hey, Jason Johnson in California.
Well, I can't find the
We
person.
used to live out there. Oh,
who
well,
said
obviously
that,
we said that.
Thank you for that, whoever you were, and going to the Patreon page. Hello from California. You guys are great. Love your food recipes.
Ooh, Jeff Barlow got hit on his bike.
You got it, Jason. We'll do more of those.
Hope you didn't get hurt badly.
I'm sorry, Jeff. She has an uncle that he's older now. He's older than us, and
Oh, yeah.
spent his whole life in a wheelchair.
Well, not his whole life, but
Well, he
His
was a young,
30s
good-looking
through-
dude, and
however old he is now.
bless him.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
a lot.
Hi
Hello.
from Turkey.
Thank you guys
Istanbul.
for visiting.
Wow.
Hello in Round Rock, Texas.
day we'll make it out there.
Ron. Hi, Frank Sales. All right, Jen, let's wrap this up. Istanbul. Wow. All right.
All right, guys.
Thanks again, everyone, and please be very careful
Hey, John in Australia.
when you drive. Don't be afraid, though. Don't live in fear. Just be smart and
Yeah.
do
Be
everything
smart,
you can to protect
be loving,
to be
Be
safe.
happy.
Okay.
Be thankful.
Love you all. We're
We're so
say,
thankful for you.
We're gonna say goodbye.
Love you
now.
all.